Adam here with the Walser Automotive Group, and what I want to do today is take you on a test drive. So next to me here, I have the 2025 Hyundai Kona. So we'll look at the 2025 updates, the interior, exterior, some of the trim specifics, and then see what it's like out on the road. All right, so now we're behind the wheel of the 2025 Kona, and this is the SEL trim. So there's a handful of different trim levels. It can get a little confusing when you're looking at some, and they did make some changes for 2025. Now, some of that was a kind of trim level shuffling. So that adds the new N-Line S trim. So that's gonna slot in just below the N-Line. And then that pretty much just takes away with like the premium audio, the adaptive cruise, the sunroof, among a couple other features, but it does keep the 190 horsepower 4-cylinder. So if you're looking for the bigger motor, but maybe don't want the price tag of some of the other equipment, that's gonna be a great option. Then the SEL and Convenience package is now a standalone trim, and guess what? It's called the SEL Convenience. So that's kind of some of the major changes for 25. Now, pricing for the Kona will start about $25,700, and it can go up to about $33,000 or $34,000. Now, the one that we have here today, the MSRP is going to be right around $29,000. So the SEL does add some pretty great equipment. So what we're going to do, put it in drive, we'll go for a spin around, talk about some of that cool stuff. Now, one of the biggest things you notice right when you get inside the Kona SEL is going to be this huge infotainment screen. It's two split screens. One side is going to be your digital gauge cluster. The other side, I actually have my phone already paired up. It's going to give me wireless Apple CarPlay, as well you can do wireless Android Auto. So that's pretty cool. Google Maps, Spotify, text messaging, everything's going to be built right into the system. Makes it very safe and very convenient when you're on the go. Now, if you're not using that, the regular infotainment system, you can still pair your phone for Bluetooth if you want, kind of that phone projection, and then really it's just going to be kind of maintaining some of your different safety features through there. So let's touch on some of that safety stuff. Now, if you go into the setup in the vehicle, if you don't want any of this stuff, you can turn it on, or even right here on the steering wheel. You are going to have cruise control in this model. As well, you are going to have a lane centering or kind of a lane monitoring system. One other thing that's pretty cool, when I was setting up the camera gear, a car kind of drove by me when I had the door open, and it does give you an audible notice, so it is part of that safe exit. One of the kids is trying to jump out, it might not let them out of the car if it thinks traffic is coming by. So that can definitely help you out in a pinch, especially if you've got the kiddos in the back. You don't want anyone jumping out into traffic, obviously, so that is a great safety feature. Now, it will also show you the speed limit signs. So if you're not sure if you're in a zone, it's a 30 zone or 40, you're trying to figure that out, actually right here on the dash, it does give you a little speed limit sign, which I found to be pretty helpful as well. Now, there is two different engine options. Like I said, you're gonna have the larger 190 horsepower, or you're gonna get the 2-liter 4-cylinder. It's about a difference of maybe 2 seconds to 0 to 60 times. Not that you're gonna be in the Kona flooring it anyways, but for the most part, I mean, unless you want that extra get up and go, I think the benefit of having maybe a little better fuel economy makes this 2-liter 4-cylinder a great option. You're looking at about 29 mpg. So out of a small, and that's with the all-wheel drive model Kona, that's pretty good mileage. If you want to go up a little bit more, you can also opt for the front wheel drive, which is even going to give you a little bit better fuel economy from there. Now, what's the ride drive like? I mean, I'm cruising at 45 miles per hour. I've got the steering assist set, so it gives me a little green line in the dash here. The steering wheel icon is lit up green, and it's basically just helping me stay lane center. And it's quiet, it's comfortable in here. I mean, I was very surprised because it's pretty windy today. It was silent in here. I mean, if you get on the highway, you do get a little bit of road noise, but for the most part, it's very, very quiet. And that was something that was really surprising to me for a car that's under $30,000. And the all-wheel drive system is going to be great. We're heading into the Minnesota winter. If that snow and sleet and ice starts to fall, it's an intelligent all-wheel drive system. So most of the time, it's gonna help you get the best possible fuel economy. But then if it senses that slipping or it needs it, that H-track system can kick in and help you out there. So now in the inside of the SEL, this one does have a power driver's seat over here. As well, you do get a lumbar control. So these are the cloth seats. So if you moved up a trim level or two, you can actually add that kind of H-Tex, which is kind of their leatherette mix. It's not a real leather. It wears very nice though, and those seats are also going to be heated. So that's a convenience feature if you're looking for something like that, or the sunroof, that you can jump up a few trim levels. But from here, I mean, this one still keeps the dual zone climate control. We've got a couple of USB-C ports down here for charging, and there's a nice little spot. So we've always got our phones with us. I just have my phone set down there. It's perfect because again, with the CarPlay, I'm not messing with that. Then in the back, you get vents and a couple of USB-Cs back there as well. So that does make it pretty convenient. If you got the kids in the back or rear passengers, everybody can keep their devices charged up. Now, if you're not hauling people, the rear cargo area, it's not the biggest cargo area. If you're looking for a little more space, maybe the Tucson or the new Santa Fe would be an option. But I think 95% of the time, if you're throwing the groceries back there, if you got some stuff, or if you randomly end up hauling something a little larger, you can also fold those seats down as it's a 60-40 split, and it does give you a little bit of extra kind of hauling space there. So this one actually does come in the SEL trim with a remote start as well. So like I said, heading into the winter time or even summertime if it's super hot, you can fire the vehicle up. I think it'll run for about 10 minutes, cools it down, heats it up for you, so that's pretty cool as well. Now, looking at the exterior of the Kona, this one did get a refresh, I think it was for the 2024 model year. So it's got that cool LED kind of bar that runs in the front that goes through the side. And then in the back, you also get that full LED taillight bar, which looks pretty cool. And then it's kind of got the taillights mounted down a little bit lower into the bumper. It's got a really unique style. Even the Kona Electric kind of looks pretty similar. So this does have sort of that futuristic styling in it, and I do like the way it looks. And again, I was blown away at how comfortable and quiet the ride was. Sometimes you expect something under $30,000 or $40,000 might get a lot of wind noise or be kind of bouncy on the road, but this is pretty fun. And you've got little drive modes here, so you can go between a sport and a snow mode. If you kick it in sport, it wakes up right away and it's ready to go, which is, you know, if you feel like having a little bit of fun, one of those cool little features. Now you do also get the camera button on the side. So if I'm coming up to a light, maybe I can't quite see around, trying to figure out what's going on behind me, you can click that parking button down here, and that's gonna pull up the backup camera. And the camera you can actually set to be the full screen or looking straight down behind you, which also can help you out in a pinch. So even kind of tailing the end of road construction season, some of these road joists in the road, everything else, this little Kona handles it really well. I mean, it's quiet, it's comfortable, I love the technology in here. It gives me everything I need and nothing more that I don't, right? So if we're looking at the average new car price right now at $48,000, this is gonna come in $20,000 less, still give me CarPlay in here, it's gonna give me great fuel economy and the all-wheel drive. I think there's a lot to like, and if you're shopping for maybe a crossover or a compact SUV, you gotta add the Kona to the list. Come out and take for a spin, see what you think. Now that was just a quick look at the 25 Hyundai Kona. Now if you have any other questions or you'd like to schedule a test drive, you can visit us online at walser.com or stop by anytime. We'd be more than happy to help. Thanks again for watching.